Hello, and welcome to the Bronx Journal. I'm Basilisa Alonso. Even after the official end of the recession, about 40% of South Bronx residents are battling poverty, and some of the hardest hit are the overworked and oftentimes abused undocumented day laborers. Yet here in the Bronx, there's an organization trying to help them. Give Them to Eat Ministry is taking a stand to fight hunger and immigrant abuse with fresh fruits, produce, family-style meals, and community activism. Joining us today is Marianela Sarotis, a volunteer from the Spanish Evangelical Church, giving us some insight on how the Give Them to Eat ministry works. Marianela, welcome to the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for being here. So I just want to start getting into what exactly is the Give Them to Eat ministry and how does it work?
Well, Give Them to Eat ministry, it's a ministry whereby we give people enough food for hopefully a week. And we give food almost every day. On Tuesday, we give cooked food. We give meals where they come and eat. And the rest of the week, we give them canned food. We give them bread. We give them sometimes meat and a lot of vegetables.
Okay. And how often do you have day laborers coming into the church to get food, get meals, get produce?
Well, we have them almost every day, especially on Friday. We have a lot of them. Mm-hmm. And they just come very quietly, and they're always welcome.
Okay, and why especially Friday? Is there something?
Well, Friday is the day whereby we get close to 500 or 600 people to come and get the food for the week. Mm-hmm. And we get 5, 6, 7 trucks in from City Harvest and other organizations and the food banks around the city. So most of the people come on Friday. The rest of the week, we give them vegetables, and fewer people come during the week outside of Friday.
Okay, and can you tell us a little about how you got involved with the organization?
Well, I was a biochemist at Albert Einstein College of Medicine, and I'm a retired person, and I was looking for something to do. And I knew the director, Danilo LaChapelle. I knew him for many years, so I decided to come and help.
When did this organization begin?
This organization, Give Them to Eat, came about 19 years ago. It's been in the South Bronx for 19 years.
Okay. And you mentioned Danilo LaChapelle?
Yes.
Who is he?
Danilo LaChapelle is the director. He's Haitian. Mm-hmm. And he knows very well the community in the South Bronx. Okay. And he maintains his program alive.
Can you explain to us what was the need that brought this organization to life?
Okay, and I have to go back a little bit. Okay. Danilo is a pastor in the Evangelical Church also. Well, the need arose because you are talking about one of the poorest community in the United States, the South Bronx. It's a community made up of single mothers, unemployed people, and a lot of senior citizens, and many immigrants. We have them from Bosnia, from Africa, from Mexico, from Ecuador, from Colombia. We have them from all over. It's not just South America.
Okay. That's something like really important that you just touched on, that you mentioned that there's a wide variety of immigrants, because I feel like a lot of people have this misconception that all day laborers or all immigrants are just Mexican.
No, no, it's not true. Day laborers come from Central America as well. I know Brazilian day laborers, so they come from all over.
And there's even many Europeans who...
Well, right now in the South Bronx, there's an influx of people from the eastern part of Europe, and also from Africa. They're fleeing the wars in South Africa and that area, so we have a lot of them. It's not just only, South American immigrants. We have them from all over. And now we are witnessing that white Americans are coming to the food pantry also.
I think that the program that you guys have developed, what makes it really unique is that you guys are able to provide such a large number of people with fresh produce, which, it's not easy to come by.
Yes, yes.
So where do you guys get most of the funding from?
Well, everybody's a volunteer. Danilo, the director, gets no money. He doesn't get a salary. In that sense, there is no money that goes into this ministry. We merely get the food that is given to us by the different agencies in the city. So in a sense, there is no funding. The church gives us the space, and it's a pretty large space, and we have an indoor space is very large, and we have an outdoor space that can fit 3 or 4 trucks with food. So in essence, we get our help right from the church, but no, there's no money being handed down or no real funding, so to speak. Right. Yeah.
How many pounds of food do you say that you get on a weekly basis?
Well, we get enough pounds of food to feed about 14,000 people a month. So we get a lot of, I'm not sure how many pounds it is because we're never told, but we get a lot of food. And lately, last year we were not getting so many vegetables. This year they have made up their mind that they give people a lot of vegetables, which is very good for nutrition purposes.
Right. Just to go back to the whole day laborer program, you guys don't ask for proof of ID or for proof of citizenship like many other programs do. Why not?
Because if we were to ask for any kind of ID, half of these people wouldn't be able to enjoy coming into the program. So it would be so heartless to leave these people out just because they don't have an ID. So no one is asked for an ID because we want to include everyone.
Okay. And this is also a problem for the undocumented community because they tend to come here without any sort of ID. Can you explain to us what a day laborer is? Because I feel like a lot of people don't know.
Well,
so.
A day laborer, like the title says, is a person who works daily. He does not work for one boss. He does not work in one place. There is no factory or business that he goes to. He stands on a corner, a street corner. They have their places where they stand on a street corner, and whoever comes and offers them a job for the day, then they go with that person. At the end of the day, hopefully he gets paid, and then he goes home. And usually home is the streets for these day laborers. They have no family. They really have no support. They come by themselves. They cross the border. They come by themselves. Many of them are very young men, and this is what a day laborer is.
Okay. Queens has one of the largest populations of day laborers.
Yes, they do.
So I think that many of us in the Bronx, we feel that we're distant from that problem. How big of an issue is that in the Bronx?
Well, in Queens, where I live, it's a big issue. They have certain points where they congregate, and sometimes there are hundreds of them. Long Island, they also have, they have a lot of day laborers. In the Bronx, I have not seen that many. They seem to kind of fade into the woodwork of these neighborhoods. I think that is because there are so many immigrants in the Bronx, especially the South Bronx, where everybody's very poor, that they just blend with everybody else, with the crowd.
Right. Because there's so much diversity here.
Yeah, because there's so much. I mean, in the South Bronx, you get a lot of you know, sick people, a lot of people who don't look like everybody else, so they just kind of blend in.
Okay. One of the places where day laborers congregate is Bruckner Avenue.
Yes.
And I've seen about perhaps 100, 200 of these men who wait daily to get jobs. Why do you think this segment of the community is so susceptible to abuse?
Well, they are susceptible to abuse because they have no papers. So you can do with them whatever you want. Once they get in a car with you, they become victims to a lot of crime. And secondly, they have no family to back them up. And thirdly, they have no choice. You know, they're at the mercy of whoever they work for. Many people don't pay them at the end of the day. And they just leave them wherever they want, you know, in the highways. And
are they afraid to go to the police, you think?
Definitely they're afraid to go to the police because they're non-existent. You know, when you don't have any documents, when you're an undocumented immigrant, you are invisible.
Right.
You know, and a lot of abuses come your way, and there's no way for you to defend yourself.
That's very true. Marianela Sarotis, you guys have a wonderful program. So if there's anyone that would like to volunteer, donate, where could they reach you? You or the director of the program?
Well, you could go to the Spanish Evangelical Church. Is on 800 East 156th Street, and you could come in and talk to us. And we have about 40 to 50 volunteers on a Friday because we get so many people. You're always welcome. We always need volunteers.
Marianela Sarotis, thank you for joining us today. It was a pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
See you on another edition of the Bronx Journal.